This podcast represents the opinions of the hosts of the Laugh Cry Club and guests on the show. The content here should not be taken as medical advice and is for informational purposes only. And because each person is so unique, please consult your healthcare professional for any medical questions. While we make every effort to ensure that the information we share is accurate, we welcome any comments, suggestions, or correction of errors. Welcome back, everybody, to the Laugh Cry Club. I am Joy.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Chelsea, and if you are a human who is laughing and crying, this podcast is for you.
We love emotions here.
Yes, we do.
Welcome all emotions.
All
we
of
hope
them.
you're feeling, you've got me feeling emotion. Did I just try to sing right
Yeah,
here?
you did.
Yeah, I did. And you know what? I just have to say, Mariah Carey in the 90s, those are some dang good hits. Like, I love Mariah Carey, but the 90s Mariah Carey hits are truly one in a million. All right. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Laugh Cry Club. We are 3 licensed therapists here to normalize feelings and normalize all the things that it requires to be a human in this world. We start with our laughs and cries every week. This week's topic, we're just going to do a check-in. We're going to do a New Year check-in, how we're feeling, how we're doing with our intentions of the year, and if we've gone off track and derailed. Spoiler alert, yes, for me.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about next week's topic. So, Chelsea, who's doing our laughs and cries this week? Who's starting?
Oh my goodness. Well, if your week has been anything like my week, you're going to have a lot to talk about. So as I close my eyes, Rebecca comes to my mind. And I'm going to intuitively know that the right nominee to go first is our lovely Rebecca. Passing it to our friend.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Wow. What a week. I mean, I started in Dallas, went to Vegas, met Joy, came back. So much fun happening. Yeah. So my laugh, gosh, so hard to pick one. There's so many that happened over the weekend. And a lot of those were with our lovely, lovely Joy, our sweet Joy.
Sweet.
You know, I
Joy.
didn't get to say that to her in person. I feel like we need a redo, but
I
it
love
was
a
so
redo.
fun. It was fun. So I think laughs. Gosh, it's so hard to pick one. I think it all started with how I'm going through security. You know, my TSA folks were on point. I got the special treatment that day on my flight out of Dallas, and I got a groin pat down.
Mm-hmm. It could be exciting or it could be violating. I don't know. I'm going to
intrusive,
let you decide. Okay.
It was really funny because I think anytime I go through TSA, I look like I'm just out of it because it's so chaotic and overstimulating. And I'm just like the deer in the headlights. I'm sure they think we all look like that. And then...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you they have such good stories. Oh my gosh. I mean, following their Instagram account is the best, but I would just love to like give me your best stories.
Yeah. So, you know, do the little hands up thing, standing there, legs apart, come through. She's like, I'm going to have to do a groin search. And I'm like, what? And she's like, points at the monitor behind me. And I look around and there's this red box over my groin. And I'm like, is this a Saturday Night Live skit? You know, what's in the box type thing? Remember that? Joy's laughing. She remembers.
Yeah.
I totally remember that.
I was like, is this a joke? And she's like, no. She's like, explaining she's going to use the back of her hands, all these things. She's like, would you like to go to a room? I'm like, no. Let's just do it right here. I'm like, I'm here for it. So yeah, did the whole thing.
A true voyeur. How, Rebecca?
Yeah, I just was like, I asked her, like, do you want me to take my pants off too? Like, is this she's like, no, you can leave those on. I'm thinking there is nothing in my pants. This is so weird.
That is so
fun.
weird. So they just feel around your vagina? Is that what happened?
They use the back of their hands. You have to like kind of bend over. They go to the butt first.
Oh
it's like a
my
real,
God.
like going to jail type swipe.
This is
In
actually
between
probably,
and then front.
yeah, like really traumatizing. It could be like really traumatizing to
It could
somebody.
be. It wasn't traumatizing to me. I was like, this is fucking hilarious
Yeah.
that this is
Oh my
happening.
God.
I'm like,
I
TSA
mean-
special treatment, VIP. Yeah.
You never know.
You're like, I feel
You
so
never
special.
know. Yeah.
Thank you that you noticed.
A
But
special box that lit up on your
It
screen.
was a red box. Like, it was so weird. I'm like, okay. Yeah, so many stories. I could go on and on and on about stories. But so my cry has to do with on the way back home. I don't know why I selected a window seat, but I thought, oh, maybe I'll look out the window. And there's nothing between Las Vegas and Dallas, Texas to look at. And so it was really boring. I was squished in and my lower back was killing me from running on concrete forever the night before. It was like the low back pain, like you feel if you move, like it's going to seize up and you're never going to walk again, like, or like they're going to have to carry you off. And I'm like, it was really uncomfortable. Plus, I took a budget flight, so the seats didn't recline, and basically there were no seats. You just had to stand. And then I had to use the bathroom, and that was the whole thing. The lady wasn't really excited that she had to get up from her nap to let me out. But anyway, that was my cry. So, I don't know. Let's see. I'll pass this over to my partner in crime from the weekend, Joy.
Oh, my God.
Woohoo!
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. I hate being trapped in an airplane, like in the row. It's like you want the aisle for that convenience, but I like the window so you can see when you land. Like there's so many weird, anyway. All right. Well, we did have quite the weekend in Vegas at the High Rocks event. We did the doubles. If you missed the last episodes, Rebecca and I competed, or I guess it's not really a competition. It's a self-competition.
It is a competition.
Okay, great.
Against yourself.
It's a competition against yourself to finish. My goal was to not get hurt and to just finish, and I think I accomplished that. I felt pretty sore on Monday, but other than that, we made it. So my laugh is, there are so many laughs. Like it was really fun to meet you, Rebecca, in person. Like I feel we were talking the whole weekend, and Chelsea, I feel like you would have just like, when I met you last year in Santa Monica, or was it 2 years ago now? I remember being like, oh, I feel like I've known you forever. Like when you meet in person, it's just, you click with people that you connect with over Zoom for years and years of working together. And I'm like, but this feels so easy. It felt the same way like when I met you, Chelsea, that I'm like, wow, that's really cool to be able to connect with people so quickly that you've just had a virtual relationship with. We kept saying that over the weekend. I'm like, I feel like I've just known you for so long. So we had a really good time. So many laughs. There were, I'm going to actually tell two, because
I'm here for it.
We got an Airbnb near the venue, so we didn't we didn't stay on the strip like in one of the like fancy hotels, because we were like, we're just here for High Rocks. We're not here to get like the full Vegas experience. Like we're gonna stay close enough to the strip that we can go there. But we weren't like committed to staying in a like strip hotel. So we're like, all right, well, let's get an Airbnb. We found the one that was like pretty close to the convention center where we did our competition, so we could like just be really close to that and also be close to the strip. So we got one that was like, it was cute. It was like very clean, very cute, but it was in a very interesting, sketchy neighborhood. So like we were kind of having to be like, all right, let's just be very careful when we're like walking to and from places. But the other piece was like things kept like breaking off that were first of all, Rebecca like walked in and it was like we couldn't figure out how to turn the heat off. The heat was just blasting. So I ended up having to turn the breaker off. I was like, we're just turning the breaker off so we don't have to be blasted. So then I'm talking to Rebecca and I'm like, yeah, da 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 da, and I turn on the faucet to like just turn on the kitchen faucet, and the handle just falls off. It
totally breaks.
And I'm like, what? God damn it. We're just like laughing. So like stuff like that was happening the entire time we're in this Airbnb. Like things you just like go to grab a drawer and like the handle falls off. So I'm like in the bathroom taking a shower the next morning, and I go to grab my towel and the entire towel rack falls on the ground. And I'm just like, I start cracking up. I'm like, where are we? Like this Airbnb. Anyway, it was quite a ride. Like some of the things that we experienced there, but overall, okay, it did the trick. But my really funny laugh that I just could not get over was we were walking the strip all day Saturday before we had our competition. I'm just like in this world of like, la la la, like everything's fun. It was like sunny and I was having a blast, and Rebecca and I are chatting. And we walk up these stairs to go into like this mall. And the second we get to the top of the stairs, this guy is standing there. And then he's standing right next to this huge red carpet. And he goes, please avoid the red carpet. And I thought he said, please enjoy the red carpet.
And we were like, yeah, maybe we're going to walk on this. We'll do some burpees on it.
Yeah, and because I was like, and I go, okay, thank you. And he goes, please avoid the red carpet. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I like jump off of it. So we had a good laugh about that. So all day we just kept saying, please avoid the red carpet. So a lot of good laughs. I feel like that just was a good dose of like, fun and challenge and all good things. My cry was not so much a cry, but more of like, those moments where you have to like put your patience pants on. Mine is always like at an airport. So on the way there, I'm a pretty nervous traveler. Like once I get to the airport, it's like, okay, but there's so many things that are out of your control. I feel like we could do a whole episode of like how to manage situations that are stressful like that. I feel like so many things are out of your control when you're like taking a trip that I just have to kind of like practice surrender the entire time. So I had a later flight where I was going to be arriving like around 5:30, but I was able to get on a standby flight and arrive like a few hours earlier, which was great. So I get to the airport and I was texting Rebecca and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I got on an earlier flight. I'll be there at this time, a few hours earlier. We'll have more time. We won't be as rushed, whatever. Then they're delayed. And I was like, okay, it'll be delayed like 30 minutes. The captain has to do something about the air pressure, cabin pressure. Fine. Safety, priority. I'm anything you need to do for safety, I'm good with. And then it just keeps being pushed out more and more. Then there's another delay that has to happen. Then there's, it's always kind of like one of those things that's like one thing after the other. And I was just getting so annoyed because all I could think was like, why did I even change my flight? Now this one's going to get canceled. And I was just like in this grumpy ass mood where I think at one point I was making like the scowliest face that I looked up and this woman was looking at me almost as if to say like, what the hell's your problem? So I was like, okay, fix your face. You're fine. You're going to get there safely. And we did, but like, and that it was like one of those situations where like things just kept happening. So by the time I got there, I was like, I just feel like it was like one thing after the other, because after all of this time, I ended up boarding like an hour, 15 minutes late. And then when I got on the plane, they didn't have any extra overhead space for my carry-on. So I had to like move back. Like going backwards when you board a plane is like a nightmare. You're like trying to like weave through people. So like that was a pain in the butt. But then I finally got there and it was fine. But that was my like more of an annoyance where I had to keep telling myself, I'm like, Joy, this is not really a big deal. Like you just need to kind of calm down. All right. That was my long-winded laugh and cry. Chelsea, you're up next. Last but not least, Chelsea.
Oh my God, the laughs and the cries. It's been so much this week. So my cry is my car that I bought that I love, the Blue Link, which is like, I don't know, like a button thing that you can turn on your car from your phone. And if you get in an accident, it alerts 911 and it tells you when your stuff is due. That has never worked on my car. And so I've tried troubleshooting it with
the new car.
The new car.
Never worked. Okay.
Never worked. And so then the dealer has tried troubleshooting it. Blue Link has tried troubleshooting it. It's been several months. So the long of the short of this story is they told me we can't figure out what's going on. Our techs can't figure out. You need to bring it in to the dealer. So as we know, my life is a very busy life. I've got a lot of moving parts. Every minute of my day is pretty much accounted for. I said, hey, can I bring it to the dealer that's closer to me, not the dealer that I bought it at? That's where I'm going to be doing my service. They said, yeah, of course. It doesn't matter. It's under warranty. Bring it anywhere. So I call the dealer just to make sure, talk to service. They're like, yeah, no problem. Bring it in. I bring it in. It was one of those moments. My daughter's volleyball practice got moved to a different location. And I'm like, oh my God, this is only 20 minutes from the dealer. This is meant. Like I can pop in, get this done. Like kill two birds with one stone. I was super excited, feeling pumped, feeling very responsible, getting my car taken care of. Show up and the guy automatically at the front desk is like, oh, well, you didn't buy the car here. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But I talked to Blue Link. They've said this. I called before I came. I spoke to the service department, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, well, who'd you buy the car from? So I give him the name who I bought the car from, give him the number, blah, blah, blah. So they basically are having a pissing contest that this guy should have done it and he didn't do it. And they're having a fight about it. The guy who I bought the car from calls me and is like, let me try and walk you through it again because this dealership's basically refusing me service. So I'm one of those people who like, I get mad for myself, but I get more mad when things are just unjust. And all I kept thinking is I'm a woman. These are 3 men who I'm dealing with. Like, fuck these guys. Like, this is not okay. And then I'm imagining if I was a woman of color, what would that be like? If I was somebody with an accent, what would that be like? If I was my 6'4" husband, what would that be like? And so I went back in and I said, I want to talk to the guy who refused to help me and said that you are not going to give me service because I didn't buy the car here. So this little POS comes up and he comes up and he starts doing this thing that I just find really hard, a pill that is very hard for me to swallow. Well, this guy helped you out and, he got paid and it's not fair. And, if you had come and bought the car here, this never would have happened because I do this like grandiosity combined with like this pissing contest with some complaining, throwing in some gossip. And I kept saying, I don't care what goes on behind the scenes between 2 people who work for dealerships. I'm the customer and I'm a woman and I am here asking for help. And I have spoke to Blue Link, I've spoke to Hyundai, I've done all of this, and I don't care what happened with so-and-so and X, Y, and Z. I was told to bring my car here and now I'm here and I literally have 45 minutes to get this done before I have to pick up my child. And so he then throws in, well, what would you do if you were a manager? To which I replied, I am a manager and I manage a team of 15. And if this happened, I would never drag the client into it. I would solve the problem and retain the relationship with the client. And then,
but not only that, sorry to interrupt, but part of me wants to be like, why would he even ask you that? Like, just get it done.
And it's not fair. It's just not fair. This guy made the sale. So I'm now at the point of like, my brain is saying, punch him in the throat and just shut him up. 23-year-old me, 20-year-old me, 16-year-old me, that something bad would have happened. Adult, responsible, professional Chelsea is like, oh my God, I don't want to curse. I don't want to be inappropriate. And I'm furious. So the only thing I could say to him was, just so you know, I am a therapist. I've been in the field for over 20 years. And in my entire career, of all the customer service experiences I've ever had, you might have one of the lowest emotional IQs I've ever dealt with. And in fact, you absolutely have no business being in customer service. What's your name? And then I said his name back to him, which I won't out him, but because there's all these things happening now. Took his name down, walked out, and another guy followed me out. So that's where it gets to like, it is dark. I am in a parking lot. Do not follow me out. I'm done. And I'm at that point of helplessness where it's like, you just did this in front of 3 men. I haven't been treated like that in a really long time. It probably reminds me of being 20 and feeling really intimidated and me like lashing. When I say like punch you in the throat, I mean like that lashing back of like, this isn't fair. Do not treat me like this. I'm a human. I deserve to be to have my stupid car worked on, like, ah. So the other guy followed me out and I had the same repeat conversation, which is normally what I do. I'm like a broken record. I say the exact same thing. I don't care what happened behind the scene. I'm the customer, blah, 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 blah. I will take my business somewhere else and I will be filing a formal complaint.
It also seems like a very, very easy fix. It feels like an easy fix.
It is.
Like, this doesn't feel like you're like replacing an entire carburetor.
Well, my understanding of like, if you buy a car at a dealership and it's say a Honda, you can go to any Honda dealership for service. They don't say you have to go anyone. You could be in another state and go to their
100%.
So it's so weird. Like they're refusing you service. Like they really should get rid of this guy.
Yeah. And I really felt like he was, having a pissing contest with this other dealer and he wanted to show off to one of the guys who was obviously new. And it was like a good old boys, like, look I'm going to do this. And he came up and he was very arrogant from the moment he opened his mouth. And I don't know what he was expecting from me, but I don't think he expected the pushback. And then the emotional IQ thing, like, really set him over the edge. But I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, you can't, anybody knows, like, I just bought a brand new car. The chances of me coming back and buying another car are pretty high given I have 2 kids. Like, it's just a stupid thing to do for customer service. So anyways, I had that thing where I got in my car and I felt so defeated. I just cried. And all I could think about was like the inequities that are happening in the world right now, the people who are being discriminated against, people who are going in because they need help. And when you go in asking for help, I don't know, you expect to get help, like, especially when you have all these valid reasons to get help, and to go through that and know that, like, if that had been my husband, that would 100% not have happened. When I read the reviews, several women had written the same complaint. You know, what is the deal with this guy? Does he just hate women? Like, but that feeling of it just sucked. And so I wrote a review, and my brother-in-law, who is so sweet, he has some friends who work for Hyundai, like the corporate manufacturer. He reached out to them. It's been totally escalated. The original dealer who I bought it from, he called me. They're actually sending someone to bring me a new car while they take my car to get it fixed, just to, like, be nice. I mean, it's not that hard to be nice. So it made me cry. I hated the feeling of having to choose a better behavior when I just wanted to fight back and protect myself. I hate when you have to like watch your words and like, don't do this.
Oh, Chelsea.
Hate it.
I know.
Hate it.
That's such a, I mean, I think we all can relate to that, where you just said you have to choose a better behavior, because we could easily dip into like the reactive piece.
Yes, I wanted to react. I wanted to scream and make a fuss and be like, you cannot treat me like this. You cannot come up here and do this to me in front of these people. And I wanted to be extreme. But as soon as you go extreme with the behavior, then you're no longer taken seriously, and you can't get what it is that you actually need.
Oh, now you're crazy. She's irrational. She's crazy. Yeah.
Or they'll say you're aggressive.
They will say you're aggressive. That's right. They'll say you're aggressive. So I just, it's so oppressive to my soul, and not just for me. When I think about this with other people, it just is nauseating. And I was so upset. And then I came home and told my husband, and he's like, I'm driving down, and I'm like, you are a cancer patient. We do not need you going to jail. Like, you are not like, and he's like, oh, do you think this guy's going to say anything to me? And I'm like, probably not. Because if you had been there with me, this wouldn't have happened. But anyways, so I cried, and it's getting handled. But man, to all women, children, people of color, anybody who speaks a different language, who has a disability, who has something where they have been treated, when there's like this power, it reminds me of caste and this power differential of people being on this high horse. And I'm sure he was a cis white guy, I'm just going to assume. Oh, are you? Because that sounds about right. Okay. Just a shot in the dark. And it just really, really sucks. I won't go into detail because this is not my section to talk about Laughs Cry, but Chelsea, I totally relate to you. Like, I had that happen with getting a car fixed, and this guy that I had to deal with for like 3 months was so dismissive and rude to me over email and in person. And I just was trying so hard not to lose my ever living shit on him. Yeah. And then one day I did, because I was like, you know what? I've had enough of you treating me this way. But it's like, why do we're trying so hard just to get through and to like not be labeled, because then they could just throw it back in your face. So it's such a it's so messed up. And I will say this to any men who have privilege. My brother-in-law who raised this for me, thank you. The owner of the other dealer, or the GM of the other dealer, who has taken it upon himself to make this his problem when it is not. My husband, when I look at that advocacy, and I taught Miles that afterwards. I said, Miles, this is going to be something that you need to know in life, because this wouldn't have happened to your dad, and this happened to me. You need to know how to learn how to use your voice and how to advocate for people. Because you're gonna be a big strong man. Right. He's in a place to do it. Yes. He will have the social status. That's right. He will have the hierarchy. He will have, the look of him. He will just be treated that way. That's right. And he can use that for advocacy and allyship. That's right. So if you do have that privilege, just like we do, I'm a white Caucasian woman who's thin. Like, I get treated differently. Like, I can have privilege, because if you have any sort of privilege and can use your voice to be of service, to help soften life for another human, thank you for doing that. And we need you. We need all of you.
Yeah.
All of you. That was my cry. My laugh was my husband's hair fell out. It's been 3 years of cancer. I'm not laughing because his hair fell out. It was actually kind of traumatic. But his hair fell out, lots of hair, just all of a sudden overnight. Came out just in clumps. And we told the kids, like, he's going to shave his head. Like, we need to shave his head. There's just like hair everywhere. Like, it's just, I thought it was the cat massively shedding. It was not. So he goes to his hair lady. She shaves his head and he comes home and he says, Charlie, what do you think? And she goes, good thing you have a face card that doesn't decline. And so I just thought it was like, a face card that doesn't decline. I guess your face is good looking and it never gets bad. So it's called a face card that doesn't decline. Anyways.
Oh, I've heard of the face cards. Yes. I'm like, oh yeah, the youth. They talk about that. Oh my gosh, the youths.
And so every time, and it's so true because his face is so handsome. And actually now with the shaved head, you can see his face. It's all he's got is a big, beautiful face.
You know what I always think about, Chelsea, is it was one of the episodes where you talked about how he has bedroom eyes because he like really looks at you intensely when he talks, that people think he's flirting with you. I'm like, I really want to talk to him because I love people like that. I would like to have a conversation because it makes you feel so special.
You want
and
people to flirt with you? Joy,
Totally.
you should have told me over
like,
the weekend. You should have told me over the
Totally.
weekend. I would have stared in your eyes deeply.
I was like, I just, like you kind of miss that sometimes where you're like, I just want someone to flirt with me.
Yeah. I mean, getting flirted with is fun. I mean, that is fun. I will say flirting's fun. I love flirting. So on the notes of face cards not declining, laughing and crying, TSA, overcoming obstacles at the airport with flights, and those of us who have privilege, including myself, standing up and advocating and doing what we can to make the world softer for other people. Let's pivot into how are we doing? We started off this year, some of us, Joy and I, did the 21 days of new. We get excited about like what the possibilities are going to come. And so this is a time for us to really check in with where we're all at. So I'm gonna mute and bump.
You're gonna mute. You're like I'm out. Like, I'm gonna
out.
back out of this.
She drops the package and then leaves. She disappears in the bushes.
I'm gonna let my face card not decline, and I am going to gently back out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just passing it back to y'all.
I'm really excited about this topic because I think this may be true for both of you and probably some of the listeners as well. But like right before the New Year's, like January 1st, the last few weeks of December, I was totally vibing. My frequency felt higher, like all these good things were coming and all these great ideas. I just felt really intuitive and like I was manifesting things. And then I don't know what happened. It was like that continued maybe for the first week of January, but it has just kind of deflated. Like Robin recently has been using this funny saying, like, what is it? Oh, you can't save an overbaked souffle. And I'm kind of been feeling like that. Like this year has just kind of been a shit sandwich so far for me. How about you guys?
I feel the same way, Rebecca, and I'm glad we're checking in on this because there are days when I get stuck in this circle of like, well, I really want to stay in that positive mindset, kind of like 21 Days of New. We're really trying to change our behaviors, and that's great to remember those tools, but there are days where you feel the swirl of all the stuff that's happening in the world that I'm trying too hard to like shift. I'm too far away from like the good mood. Then I get all freaked out because I'm like, well, now I'm just attracting crap. And so from the beginning of the year, I think just coming off the holidays and the excitement of a new year is always really fun for me. I always feel very positive. But I think what I need to do is not lower expectations, but just have like very gentle expectations around what the year is going to look like, what's going to happen. I know this from last year of like all the stuff that happened for my like year of grow, that just because my word of the year is abundance doesn't mean I'm going to like all these like wonderful, happy things are going to happen every single day. They can, sure, if I stop to recognize it, but there's just been so much pain. And I think all of us are empaths in that way, that there's been so much pain and sadness in the world that we have observed that it's hard for me. I was saying this to a friend the other day. I live on the brink of just not wanting to get out of bed. It's a real small step from me to be like, I don't want to get out of bed today. I don't want to do anything.
Totally.
So I'm like, I would like that gap to be a little bit bigger. That's where I am.
Yeah.
I'm definitely all over the place. I would say I have the not wanting to get out of bed. That has happened lots of days. Normally I'll have bad moments of my days, but I don't typically have a full bad day. And I do feel like I've been having fuller days with a lot more challenges in them. You know, I love the new year. Everybody knows this about me. And if you've listened before, you know that I have this crazy ritual that I do that I love, and the shedding. And I feel like that fast start is sort of saving me. Like it kind of filled up my savings account enough, because I can't imagine if I didn't do it where I would be right now. The empath stuff is right. You know, a lot of these things are not things that a lot of these changes in the world are not things that have affected me directly yet. But I am now knowing people who are being impacted, who have gotten government notice about leaving their job, agencies that are having to shift. I'm starting to see that happening, and it's been at great speed, and that has been heavy on my heart. We're also waiting for Steve's cancer scan to tell us, you know, we're praying to God that he can have surgery. That's weighing heavy on my heart, and the future feels very uncertain. And so I have been trying out this thing, I guess I'll say, of just saying, what's my next right step towards something bigger and greater to be of service to those who need it? That's kind of what I just keep saying. Like, where do I need to be right now in my life to, I don't know, do the most that I can in order to help facilitate change or help with one person. Doing therapy again has been really helpful. Working with clients it's just been like such a breath of fresh air. I feel like that human connection is just so beautiful. So that's actually been really helpful for me, that working part, that like my therapist once said, you know, they say working through it, that means getting up and going to work. So that type of work has been really good for me. But yeah, it's been a lot. It's heavy. I mean, I'm meditating twice a day on an acupuncture mat, like the kind that pokes you in the back, because I feel like it's calming my nervous system, because my body is hurting. My body's sore. I've been getting these headaches. And so my body's really been talking to me saying like, hey, we've got to do something different. And I don't know what that difference is right now.
Chelsea, I'm so glad you mentioned the moments. Really made me realize that I too am having more moments than it's not like I will be really hard on myself that if my mood is like bad for just a little bit, I'll be like, snap out of it. So it is more of those moments. And I think that's what we've talked about before with like feeling it for 90 seconds. If you have these emotions, that it's fleeting and it will pass, and that we're not here to feel blissful, happy every second of the day. All of those feelings of feeling all over the place is pretty normal given the circumstances of what's going on in the world if you're paying attention. I may have mentioned this last time when we were talking, but I just saw an interview on Adam Grant where the psychologist said mental health right now is feeling your feelings appropriately to the situations that are happening, you know? So if times are hard right now, so feel those feelings, it's going to be hard. And I keep reminding myself of that too, and the 90-second rule and doing the next right thing. You kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was like, yes, I've been doing the same thing of just those moment to moment, because otherwise it gets overwhelming. I also am feeling in the space of like every single day I ask, what is my purpose? What is the best way that I can show up today for whoever needs it? Because I don't know how you guys feel about this. Sometimes it just feels really overwhelming of any actions we can take because the problems feel so big.
It does. You know, Joy, I keep going to this really big why. What is my why of being in this world? I mean, I don't know if I know the exact answer, but I know why I show up every day. That's for my kids, for my husband, for the people who I love. And then the work that we do as therapists, you know, I was doing an event last week on resiliency, and I shared, you know, why I love to do public speaking is because I hope today that if it softens your negative self-talk, your inner critic, if that softens just a little bit and you learn one little new piece of information, my hope is that that's contagious, and that comes to the mailman or the guest person at Target, or that can be contagious. And so that's where I keep trying to look like really big, like what are the things that actually really matter to me? And then I'm just one person, and I'm just like, I'm not in a power position where I get to make laws or I get to change things or I get to do these different things. All I can do is be the best version of myself. And that does mean being authentic and feeling my feelings. That does mean getting fucking pissed off. That does mean crying when I need to cry. That does mean sometimes complaining because sometimes it just sucks. Like, I'm not going to hold myself to that expectation, but my God, that little inner critic is like, well, why aren't you okay? Well, what's wrong? Well, you have, and so I'm like, yeah, I'm just shutting the door. So I've been doing that a lot, being like, yeah, you're knocking and I'm not answering. I'm not buying into this toxic positivity. I'm not buying into any of this stuff. Right now it's hard and I'm going to let it be hard, but I'm not going to stop taking action to move myself forward. And that might just mean taking a shower and brushing my teeth today. That's it. It might be going to the chiropractor. Like, it doesn't have to be huge, but if we stop taking care of ourselves, then we're all really in trouble.
I can relate to both what you are saying. It's like, Joy, it seems like kind of what you were talking about is this, like, trying to stay in that positive manifesting mode. And then the moment you get out of it, you're like, get back in it, get back in. What's wrong with you?
Totally.
You're not going to get
like
the
you
thing.
Put all this yeah, exactly. You put all this pressure. We're like, oh crap, I'm attracting crap.
I know.
Yeah.
And then it brings all this pressure on you. But then it's also like, Chelsea, you're saying, it's like, kind of like, let that pressure go and just take one step in front of the other and focus on, you've talked about sometimes going small and kind of looking at the smaller things in your life. Like, I've really been paying more, not that I don't pay attention to my dogs, but you know what I mean? Like, you really are focusing on them and like, I'm looking at them in their eyes. And when I pet them, I'm being really mindful and just sending them like pictures like Marianne talks about, that I love them and they're just providing me so much joy in life and things like that. But I want to see if you all relate with this too, or maybe the listeners, that we've talked about manifesting, right? And so I have this manifestation that I started with where I would say, like, I want independence, freedom, health, and wealth in no particular order, because I know the universe can get all weird about the order. So in no particular order, these are the things I want, give me signs. And I've been aware of some of the signs and I felt like I've been on the right path. But then, like, things started just taking this turn of, I felt like almost in a way like I've been spiritually under attack since like mid-January on, and just various different aspects of my life. And I'm like, okay, this is not cool or okay, universe. What is this? And I started thinking, well, this isn't working. And then I realized this actually is working, because if I flip the script and I don't think of it as negative, because it feels pretty negative, it doesn't feel good. It's actually pushing me to make some decisions that I really need to make in my life to get those things that I asked for, but it's not coming like I thought it would. And so it's like, we've always kind of go back to like, be careful what you ask for, right? Because sometimes we don't know how it's going to come, but it's coming at me strong. And it's actually kind of like, it almost feels like hands on my back pushing me. And I'm kind of leaning back, resisting. And it's like, you're going to do this thing. And then I was listening to this affirmation podcast today, and it said, the universe is conspiring in your favor. And I wanted to say, the fuck it is. And then I was like, wait, it actually is. It's going to force me out. It's pushing me out the airplane door. It's like, I'm thinking, I don't have my parachute on. It's like, you got your parachute on. You're going whether you like it or not. And you just have to flip the script.
You've launched a desire. It's like when I was at Kaiser years and years and years ago, they were going through this whole like situation, changing jobs and changing roles, and I got laid off, whatever. And I just remember before it happened, the short of it is like, you had the chance when they were doing this like reorg, you had the chance to apply for your job again or take a severance and leave. And I just remember when I reapplied for my job, I was like, oh, but I kind of want to take the severance. I should just take the severance and leave and get out of here, because I was so miserable. But job security, and the words out of my mouth kept being, I should take the severance. Oh, and then when I'd see people take the severance, I'd be like, you're so lucky. Oh, I wish I could take the severance. Guess what, y'all? I got kicked out anyway, and I got the severance. It was like the universe was like, you wanted this. Why don't you just do it?
It made it happen.
So funny. But in order for it to happen, I literally had to be forced out. Like, they had to be like, we're not going to hire you back. And it was super traumatic and it was crappy. And, if they ever hear this, I still hate you.
Yes. Yes.
But like, truly I do. But like, That was just one of the, I will never apologize how much I hate these two people, and they know
I
who
love
they
you,
are.
Joy. I love you.
I will never apologize.
And this is an authentic reaction.
This is authentic, yeah. And let's call bullshit on these places that make people reapply for a job that they've already had. I know somebody from my gym. They work in an industry and they were doing a reorg, and everybody had to reapply for their job. And you may get it or you may not.
It's just their way of trying to weed people out.
It's so
sneakily.
stupid.
It's so stupid. Yeah. So the manifesting thing, yes, like the universe is going to give you stuff. And I mean, that's where I think like our human brains just can't conceptualize the stuff that's going to like come to us. But back to your point of like doing one thing at a time to stay sane in this space that we're in of being humans. This is what this podcast is all about. It's hard being a human. We deal with crap every single day in our personal lives. We're trying to maintain our friendships, our work balance, life balance, whatever that means. It's just really hard. The point of this kind of like check in too of just how do we pivot? Maybe that's what we do, Chelsea, is we just pivot when things kind of sneak up on us. And I think that's what we're handed all the time, but it still surprises me where I'm like, oh, now we got to deal with this. And maybe that's the lesson, is just keep pivoting.
Yeah. Chelsea's going to tell us what to do. I can feel it. I can see it in her face.
Well, I'm going to tell
She's
you
gonna have some tips.
Yes.
my pivot. My pivot right now, I have a little checklist in my daily planner because I'm old school. I like to write everything down. My 2 pivots right now to the next right step is to look up at the sky. Look up. Once a day. That's it. Just look up. I need to remind myself that I'm small and there's a big giant world and there's a universe out there that I don't understand and there's a God out there that I don't understand. There's all these things that I don't know. I don't have to know all the answers. I'm here whether I like it or not. And I mean, I don't say whether I like it or not. I don't mean like alive whether I like it or not. Like I'm in this part of my life with these circumstances. Whether I like that or not, I don't have a choice unless I can behaviorally do something. So I need to remind myself, like, the sky's still blue. Things are still happening. There's a lot of things I don't know. And that's where I think that manifesting of the faith of like, I don't know what's going to happen. So a lot of mine is like, I don't know what's going to happen. And so I'm looking up at the sky. That's one thing on my checklist. The other thing is to speak from my heart, which did not happen when I wanted to throw punch somebody. I decided to speak from my heart afterwards. Really?
You didn't throat punch. You said a fact.
Really, I want to use my words for when they matter and not just have words to have words. So whether that's being kind to another person, whether that's helping somebody in a therapy session, whether that's speaking to an audience, whether that's speaking to myself, I'm really trying to make sure, like, are these words true to my heart? Because I know when I get anxious or when I get nervous, I can spiral and just start saying a lot of words. I don't watch the news. I'm lying. I could read the news or see a post or see something and really start getting that hijack when I am vulnerable. So I'm like, okay, is this matching? Is this true to my heart? And if it's not, then I'm saying like, maybe I just don't need to respond. Maybe I just don't need to do anything. Maybe I just need. And then the last thing is just trying to be really gentle on myself. I'm trying to just be really, really, really gentle on myself and just be like, it's okay that it feels really hard. And, it's not always going to be hard. There's years that we have that are really hard. I look at cancer. It's been almost 3 years. March, it'll be 3 years. It's been 3 really, really, really hard years. And there has been so much beauty and so many learning things. And I am not the same person I was 3 years ago. And I'm a very different person than I was while being the same. And so in adversity, we can get really brave and show up. So the bravery part too is where I'm at, but we can't be brave when we're pouring from an empty cup. So I would just encourage everybody to just like take care of yourself, and taking care of yourself is manifesting. You're showing that you're valuable. You're showing that you're worthy. You're showing that your feelings matter. Like I do think that is saying to the world and the universe, like you are worth it. Take a beat, take a breath, take a pivot, do what you need to do. So that would be my, tip, trick, talk from the heart.
That's a really good reminder. I'm sitting here just nodding, being like, yeah, because there's tip, trick.
From the heart.
Yeah, because it's so easy for us to dismiss or like be in this space of like, well, if I'm having a bad day, just suck it up. Like we're Gen Xers, we're like the suck it up generation.
Oh, can I say one more thing to our listeners?
Please.
This is a really good tip and trick I did. I don't know if you ever do a reset, but I was having a day and I was like, ew, I hate my life right now, which I do not say. And I was like, wow, you are in a really bad place. So I had a pillow and a blanket in my car and I just slept in my car at Charlie's volleyball practice. I just turned on a meditation and I completely passed out and fell asleep. And it was such a reminder, like sometimes you just need to go to sleep. You just need to go to sleep and reset and stop pushing through.
You said that like in one of the first episodes we did. You were like,
when I go back to bed.
Yeah, when you're like, I just need to go back to bed. I was like, that is a brilliant idea.
Pillow and blanket in your car.
Just go back to bed.
Yeah, pillow and blanket in your car. I made it happen. I went back to bed in my own little way, and I was like a new human. It was really good. So that's the other one. Keep a nice pillow, a feather one, a soft blanket that brings you comfort. Like put a good blanket in your car. Don't put the dog blanket. Like put something nice for yourself. A little treat.
Yeah, treat yourself.
Chelsea, I love your tips. They're so great.
Thank you. I love you both.
Well, I love you too, and Joy. I mean, gosh, this is just a pleasure every week, every day, actually, because I speak to you guys every day.
Yeah,
where would I be without the two of you?
I'm like, how would we do it without the Laugh Cry Club?
I don't know. where we
couldn't have a club.
Honestly,
there's no club without us. Club. Hey, and welcome to everybody to being in the club, right? And I do want to shout out our newest listener in Las Vegas. That was our waitress at a restaurant. Yeah, she totally pulled it up on her phone and everything. So shout out to you. Excellent service. We had a great time chatting with you.
We really did.
Hope you're listening.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, Rebecca, will you share next week? We're going to have our structured topic where we go into some therapeutic conversations. What's it going to be, Rebecca?
Well, I'm trying to read my writing right now, so that's confusing. But I think we're talking about people who have influenced us along the way and has helped maybe guide us on our path. So influential people from your past.
Like the teachers.
Yes, I can think of so many. Coach Walsh's, therapist, anybody.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be such a good one. I'm so excited. I'm going to use people's names. I'm going to shout them out.
Yeah. Let's just, shout them out. Even like on social media, when we put some posts up, shout out the people that have helped you along the way, that
make us
that have
better,
lifted you.
Yeah.
It's like the People magazine of like, or no, maybe it's Time, where it's the top 20 most influential people of the year or something. It's like, we're going to list some top influential people of our lives. And I'd love to hear how they did it, like the stories of how they did it. That is so
cool. I like that. Like maybe we name a few top influential people in our lives. Maybe we even do a top 5. We don't have to go into all of them because we wouldn't have time. But wouldn't that be fun? We each have a top 5 and then maybe we post it.
Y'all, I've had so many people carry me. I don't know that I could even narrow it down to 5.
Well, but I'd love to hear like the things they did. Yeah. Because I have specific, it's burned in my memory of like, they did this for me and they did this for me. And it's just, I love that. This is the spice of life. This is the meaning of like these connections. I'm just saying this to remind myself, like we need connection. We need connection to get through this life.
And
definitely.
A blanket.
You always need connection, partners, people.
Yeah. Oh, all right. We love you all.
Love you, tons.
Big hugs.
Thank you for listening. Friendly reminder, you can find us on all the social media sites at Laugh Cry Club. We post some really fun little contents on our Instagram page.
We do.
So please follow us there. Share with a friend. It's the best way to support us, and it's free. Just click share and be like, hey, friend, I love you. And I think these mental health clinicians are really great. So listen to them. We would really appreciate that. Thank you for your support. And we'll see you next week, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
That's life, baby.